Yeah, one of the things I wanted to add to you is that I did a little obsessed.
People then. Sorry. Hang on.
Um,
I have people that are like, what?
yeah, I don't know. So I did a little obsessed tonight, and like even after doing full on 80-day, it's killing. That was the other really funny thing. Not to scare you, as Karina's like, I don't know if I'm going to jump into it. Carrie's like, I don't know. But it's also amazing. You know what I mean? That you can change your loops or change your weights or whatever. Like you're constantly reinventing, and they talk about that a lot. Like the people that were concerned, like that believe it or not, like all of us that didn't know that we wanted to do it. I wasn't going to do it. Totally wasn't going to do it. 60-minute workouts, no way. And then I said, I waste 30 minutes on Facebook a day. I can do this. You know, and honestly, like Catherine said, it goes by. But I don't like to work out. I loved these workouts.
That's good.
Yeah, and honestly, one of my friends messaged me today, another fellow coach, and she's like, please tell me Autumn isn't this annoying throughout 80-day. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then I did a little obsessed today, and I was like, okay, I didn't mind Autumn, but I can see where she's coming from. But there's also Spotify playlists that they put with the workouts.
Like if you didn't really like 21 Day Fix and those sorts of workouts, are you going to like 80-day obsession? Because I
totally different, I think.
Did a week and I stopped.
Yeah. Karina can probably attest this to, and is it Anna, right? Yeah. I mean, I'll say if I can, but I loved that it's literally like, even though yes, like leg day for phase 1 is the same, but same variation every week. It's a different workout every single day. I really loved that. I liked the communication with the cast, and like I like to listen to their little inside jokes and things like that. So I think it's very different than 21 Day Fix. The way that they film this, like I feel like they can't go on filming anything the other way ever.
No, I never completed a full 21 Day Fix schedule. I got bored. I would switch down. I'd be like, okay, that is part of why I signed up for On Demand, is because I knew I was going to get bored. So I do, okay, 21 Day Fix, okay, Shift Shop, okay, size. But the problem with doing that is that your body you're not following a program, so you don't get optimal results that way. I loved 80-Day Obsession. I'm doing it again. I did not get bored throughout the whole time. I loved switching up the workouts. You got, just when you thought you were getting comfortable and you're like, okay, the soreness is going away, it switches and then you're sore again, but it's a good sore. And I just want to put this out there. Like, okay, Danielle and Catherine, and I mean, the girls that have been talking are in amazing shape. So do not let that discourage you, because I started this program at 195 pounds and I lost 18 pounds and I could not do half the moves that they did in the beginning. I still cannot do the half Turkish get up to a push-up, and I can't do it, but that's okay because you modify, and you just have to be okay with modifying, and don't let that discourage you. Just know that as long as you're working and you're trying the best you can and you're actually pushing yourself as much as you can, the results will still come. So don't look at the modifier and be like, okay, she sort of already has a six-pack. What the hell is that for a modifier? Like, just the best you can, because it still works for every body type, no matter where you start. Like, just know that you might have to modify, but be okay with that up front. Don't let that discourage you, because you will end and you'll be amazed at what you can do, and you'll start it all over again because you're so excited about the results you got the first time.
And you do look awesome, Karina, by the way.
You do.
I see a difference in your face and your arms, and
I can see my collarbone. Like,
smile.
Like, the way it changes your whole mindset, like mentally and physically. Like, guys, I signed up for a mini triathlon today. Never ever done before. It's never been an option before for me, physically, but also mentally. And like, just the confidence that it gives yourself, like pushing through those workouts and sticking to that meal plan. And yes, okay, Catherine, if you fall off the meal plan and have a chocolate chip cookie, you're fine. I dove off the meal plan for a week while I had friends here, and you know what happened? I felt like crap the whole time. Like you become so in tune to how your body is feeling afterwards. Like I don't know if any of you are from the South. I had a fried oyster po' boy, and I felt like I was going to throw up afterwards. Like, just when you're properly fueling your body, the first couple weeks are hard, but afterwards you don't crave those things anymore as much. You don't crave them as much. So that would be my advice is, one, like, it's possible for everybody to do it. More people in our group complained that they felt like they were eating too much food versus not enough. I know that's different for some people depending on what group you're in, but there were more people complaining that they felt too full at the end of the day and were dropping like a meal plan where you're supposed to eat that much because you're properly fueling your body. So I know, like Catherine mentioned, if you're in A, that a lot of people bumped up to B, but I'm in C, and just the way my bracket works, I stayed there the whole time, and I never felt hungry, ever. You're not going to feel hungry if you're in the right bracket, so don't be worried about that.
Can I go off on that, Karina?
Yeah.
Because I'm a very small person. I weigh not even 100 pounds. I was in Plan B. I've always been in Plan A for every meal plan we've done. I was in Plan B for maintenance for all 3 phases. I went on to Plan C in phase 2. My husband can tell you because I was hangry. I was hangry, and let me tell you, it was fabulous. Like, I don't even know how much more food I got. And that's the biggest thing from the trust the process that people are talking about. Danielle was supposed to be in Plan C. She bumped up to Plan D. And in Autumn, one of the best things that, because we were in the test group, we got the videos from Autumn, and that's going to be huge to help other people, I think, because Plan C was my happy place. I don't know if that's where I'm going to stay, because again, I'm back down to Plan B for maintenance, but you have to, and she talks about that, like Catherine said, if for a couple of days you're cranky. I mean, I snapped at my son for nothing, and I was like, give me a piece of bread and peanut butter until I make dinner. Yeah. And plus, if you're eating on plan, like, I feel like it wasn't so bad. It's like when you eat 21 Day Fix, like if you need 4 greens, have an extra green.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Well, that helps me. I don't know. I'm feeling better. I definitely feel better. I'm just thinking, like, I loved the fix. It sounds like a lot of you guys hated the fix. So I'm like, maybe this isn't my program, but I'm definitely going to do it. I'm thinking that I'm going to have a separate group along with the virtual gym for anyone who wants to do it for extra support, so we can all be on the same page. But I'm also thinking we should probably find a bigger group, or do we know of any coach contact or anything like that? Like, is there any incentive going on right now to do it again? Like, Karina, you said you were doing it again. Do you know of any groups that are doing it? I don't know. There was so much motivation happening when I was pregnant, and I want to find something like that.
I know Catherine brought all her people that were doing 80 Day into our group. So if there's enough people that are starting it with the round 2, and I have 3 people in our group that are now doing 80 Day, maybe there's enough to pull out of that group, because that what is it, April? Awesome April. Now, I mean, we have over 100 people in there now, right? So maybe there's enough to pull all the 80-dayers out and just create a new one.
Well, I don't want to pull them out, but maybe just add it. Yeah. Because I think it'd be nice to have a focus group.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be nice still for them to have that bigger, place to post in, especially so other people can see what 80 Days is about. Especially from someone like me who's so, like, skeptical and so, like, I'm not going to like this. If I end up liking it, I'm going to want to, like, shout it from the rooftop. So,
and Autumn's having a group.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. I think you just have to, like, buy the completion pack or whatever, but that gets you in, or challenge pack, that gets you into her group that she is running, also starting on the 23rd.
Okay. So I should be able to make it. You just have to sell one completion pack?
Yeah.
I think you have to sell one, or I think you can even count yours since you bought one and enter.
Okay. Yeah, I should be able to get into that. I just want to be in something where I'm getting ideas from the group too, you know.
Well, and like Catherine mentioned, there's like, I'm in a specific 80-day obsession plan C Facebook group. So that was helpful because they were all on the same meal plan as me, and talking, like sharing, like someone mentioned I was having a hard time with, in plan C, like my post-workout meal and meal one are very, like, they're the exact same thing. So I felt I was duplicating a lot. And then they were like, well, have turkey bacon wraps on whole wheat. And I'm like, oh my God, you just changed my life. So like, just putting those things out there to other people in your group, those, and I mean, like Catherine said, there's one for everything. There was like an overnight shift group because they faced whole other problems. There was a teachers group for 80-day obsession. So joining those groups too would be helpful in addition to running your own, because everybody faces, schedule-wise, your own little challenges within that. So
yeah, you can find so many different ones on Facebook, and there's so many people doing it that have gone through it and that are motivated to do it again. I obviously am not doing it again right now, at least, only because of the schedule piece. That's like the hardest part. It was the hardest part for me, is that I couldn't get up so early in the morning because my schedule changes. On Mondays and Fridays, I'm at a high school, so my starting time is 7:30. So I couldn't find a consistent time to wake up every day, and there was no way that I'm not trying to be a negative Nancy, but there was no way that I was getting up at 3:30, 4 o'clock every day to do an hour-long workout.
I'm muting you, Anna. No, I'm just kidding.
But then that was my struggle, because I had to do it, but then with the way that Time Nutrition was, I would be done eating my last meal at like 4 o'clock. And so I'm like, I'm going to be starving afterwards. And I didn't have recharge. So like a friend of mine, Julie, she had all of the performance line, and she was like, oh, you still have your recharge. I'm like, no, I don't. I have my energize, I have my recover, and that's it. So eating a stupid early dinner was something that I struggled with too. But then on the days that I could do an earlier workout, those are the days like that I'm at my elementary school. So the earlier workouts put me having dinner at a reasonable time, like 6 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock when I was at high school. But then also the challenge was, if you wanted to do an evening workout, it's the same thing. Then my last meal is 9 o'clock, and then I got to go to bed right after I eat my last meal. So that was the hardest part for me, I think. But definitely I'm really glad that I did follow Time Nutrition. It was hard, but now that I'm doing, I'm super pumped to be able to swap my containers around. I don't know about anybody else, but that was hard for me because I was in Plan B the entire phase 2, phase 3. Phase 1, I was in Plan A, and I never bumped up. I probably should have bumped up to Plan C, but I never really felt hungry in Plan B. So maybe that was just me. But I'm half wondering, like, if I did bump into Plan C, if I would have had more results, or not that my results were bad at all. I mean, I lost 5.5 pounds and 8.5 inches. So proud of that, especially with the issues I have with my body. Like, I've got lots of hormonal imbalance, and I'm on lots of medications and things, so I didn't know what to expect. But yeah, so I'm doing Shift Shop now, but because that's kind of my love, man. It's now my favorite program. I love Autumn, but ready to take a break. Sorry, Autumn. I do need a break from you. She's great. I love 21 Day Fix. I love 21 Day Fix Extreme. And the other part I think that was challenging for me was just the workouts are so long. But I mean, if you have the time, it's definitely worth it. I did Strength 45 from Shift Shop today, and had I not done 80 Day Obsession, there's no way that I would have like powered through that, coming onto that from not doing Shift Shop in months.
Right.
So I know for sure that it doesn't really matter about, I mean, it's nice to see the scale change, and it's nice to see the size change, but that's huge non-scale victory right there. So I know that after 80 days, my strength is just ridiculous. And 80 days, that's what that's for. I mean, it's a huge piece of it. And I don't know about you, Jenny and Karina, right?
Mhm.
Okay, it was like, you lost 18 pounds. Holy crap. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And Jenny, I saw your posts on the 80 Day Test Group page. Holy crap. I'm like, she's rocking it too. So, but now, having gone through that, the mentality, I have never, I think the only program that I pretty much followed through with nutrition before was Shift Shop, just because it was written out for me. And then doing the Time Nutrition, knowing what groups to put meals in and stuff, that made it really hard. But I had the planner, I like wrote all my stuff down. And now going back into being able to swap out things and move them around, but it's a very similar, Plan A in Shift Shop is the same as, it's pretty much the same as Plan A in 80 Day, except you get one less green. But now I know how to like plan those things, and I'm totally ready with nutrition. Like, I'm like, all right, I got this. I'm not going to be just like you said, Karina, like going for a splurge meal. You feel like crap, complete crap. Like this weekend, I'm not going to lie. After the last workout, I went out. I had some French fries and I had some veggie chili, which is good, but it was not something my body was used to. So I felt like, I'm not even going to say it, but I felt terrible the next day. So now I know that when I need a carb, I'm going to go for a healthy
sweet potato.
A sweet potato, brown rice. You know, meal prepping is a breeze now.
It sounds like it's a big learning curve. And I'm thinking, Karen, like for people like you and I that like struggle mentally, which is the reason why I became a coach, is I struggle mentally, and it like holds me accountable to be a coach and accountable for other people. Yeah. I think that that's like the biggest reward in all of it, you know, if you can do it.
Yeah.
And sharing that is so important too. Like I bought munchkins this morning for my mom's group, and like nobody showed up. So guess who ate most of the munchkins? But then on my way home from something in Nashua today, I stopped at Whole Foods and got like this veggie sushi thing or whatever that tastes like summer, which is like, please show up here. So it just felt good to balance that out. Like I agree with Anna 100%. I mean, I ate cookies over Easter because they were in my house, which is why we don't keep that crap in my house. And I felt like crap. And that's the most amazing thing. And I personally, think that you kind of have to have that every now and again to remind yourself why you just did this, how good you felt, right?
No, another thing that that everybody, I'm sure, learned in the 80-day test group is best way to have your recover is as brownie batter. Just saying.
I didn't do it. I like it as a milkshake. It tastes
I like it as a milkshake too, but oh my gosh, if you ever find yourself craving like dessert, do it. Oh my gosh, do
that
it.
makes me feel better.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm gonna jump off because it's gonna
Yeah, I eat ever.
message me anytime.
I have like a couple super quick points.
Okay.
One, do not get on the scale unless Autumn tells you to.
Right.
Your body fluctuates so much that the scale is not going to be indicative of what is happening with your body. That is why it is so important to take pictures. I mean, you guys, if you're in our group, you know, I posted my bikini photos in our group and I did it on the wall, and I have never done that before. So take your photos because you don't know like how amazing your transformation is going to be, and you want those photos from the beginning. So don't get on the scale unless Autumn tells you to, because if you're one of those people that goes on and you're like, oh my God, I gained a pound, and you start to doubt the program, then that's not going to work for you mentally. So just stay off the scale until she tells you to. 2, your food list. The higher up on the list a food item is, the better nutritional value it is for you.
And the more filling.
And the more, yeah. So if you, once you start to get the hang of meal prepping, the more foods you can choose from the top of the list, the better those will be for you. Obviously, they're all good for you. That's why they're on the list. Which brings me to point, whatever. Lists and 80-day obsession food lists are different. So make sure you pay attention to those, because there are some foods that are 21-day approved that are not 80-day approved. And there are some foods.
English muffins.
And there are some foods like salsa or tomato sauce or something that are a purple in 80-day obsession, or they might have been a green in 21-day fix. So just make sure you look at those different things. I believe we have the spreadsheet loaded up in the groups, but if not, this was very helpful for me. I use my phone. I'm much more of a paper person. So make yourself a spreadsheet or something like this. I did this for the first couple weeks, and then I didn't have to anymore. I just kept it on my fridge because I was able to see, okay, I need a green, a purple, and a red for this. And I had prepped my food so I could just grab that, but I didn't necessarily pre-mix it or pre-meal plan.
Do you have that to share with us if you?
Yeah. If it's not in our group already, I can share it. It's just a Google Doc, so I'll send it out to everybody.
Okay.
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. So maybe it'll come back to me.
Definitely think that's a huge point, especially with meal planning, is write it down, especially the first. I would say, just like you, Karina, I planned and wrote out exactly what I was going to have. I bought one of those 21-day fix journals that has the little containers, and then you write down what you have and what each meal, the container count was. But after, I want to say, day 35 or so, I had it down to an art. Like I knew what I was going to have. I didn't need to use it. But it just becomes second nature.
So you think, I mean, I know that some of you didn't use this, but I'm thinking that this is going to be a lifesaver for me.
Yes.
Yeah. What is
Absolutely.
This is amazing. This is on Etsy.com.
I got one on Etsy too.
It's like, it's all planned out for you. The food lists are in here. It's basically like a how-to guide. Like you can't possibly screw it up.
Yeah. You're gonna be so glad that you bought that.
Yeah, this is Plan C.
So just so you know, at the end of phase 1, you recalculate your plan.
I'm
So
staying on plan since I bought this journal.
well, I just want to say, because I fell phase 1. I fell very at the top of Plan C, and then for phase 2, I was at the very bottom. Most people were switching brackets, just so you can pre-plan and know that ahead of time, that you might maybe switch to phase. You're going to be breastfeeding, so you'll probably stay in the same phase, if not bump up a plan. Right. So just know that after phase 1, you do recalculate, but your phase 2 and phase 3 are the same calculation. So if you have drastic weight loss, then you might change between phases. Be prepared.
Okay.
But, your workouts do get a little bit more intense in phase 2, so your calorie intake goes up a little bit, or could go up a little bit. So
it's good to know.
Yeah, and the other thing about the phases is that what she didn't tell us until we were through the phase, through phase 2 especially, is that phase 1 is really just kind of getting to know the workouts, the moves, what to expect. And a lot of people will experience most quick weight loss, especially if you have more weight to lose or you're not working out as often. You'll see a lot more of that in phase 1. Phase 2 is the building phase, and she doesn't tell you that until halfway through, but it's more strength and building your muscles under the fluff. I guess that's the best way to say it. So phase 2 is really frustrating for me, just because I'm like, I am not seeing, I'm not physically seeing the changes. I can feel it. Again, I'm stronger. I know that. But for me, it's that got to get out of that mindset of oh, why am I not losing weight right now? Right. And then phase 3 is the shred phase. So that's more of the hit moves, more jump, more plyo, more cardio moves, more plyo. So again, that's where you shift directions. It's you've built up all the lean muscle mass under the fluff, and then phase 3 where you're going to try to shred the fluff off.
Okay, so, one more question, and then we got to end this. We'll cut off again. But if you could just all say one thing that motivated you to stick with it. If there was just one moment, when you were doing it, that you were just I'm going to stick with this. What is it?
I started it. I'm going to do it. This time, there's no turning back. And having an accountability group, yes, it was 40-some thousand people, but having that blow up my news feed every single day, it was okay, if they're doing it, I can do this too. I can do hard things, and you hear that all throughout the program. So that's it. I'm okay, and the whole idea that comes up all the time is, you started this. You're not going to just give up now. You've made it 30 days. You've made it 45 days. Why stop now?
I was talking more day 2 or 3.
Right. Right. Yeah. But for me, it was okay. I've mentally committed to this. Right? I'm going to do it. It's something new. I'm excited to have a different, it's never going to be the same. That was the biggest piece for me, that it was that it's going to be a different workout every day. Sure, it's the same moves every week, but the way it's set up, it's different every day. So that I was I'll never get bored.
Perfect. And Karina, do you have one last thing that kept you going?
Celebrate your non-scale victories. That was the biggest thing with me. It was how clothes were fitting, your pictures, tracking your weight. I took a picture of my, in your peak week in the last week, you go back and see other workouts from other phases. So I took my baseline, the weights I lifted versus my peak week weights, and just to see that difference. And I did that every single week, being like, oh, I can bump up to 10, I can bump up to 12. So celebrate your non-scale victories as much as you would celebrate your scale victories. And that's what kept me going, because that was results even if it wasn't on the scale. Results are motivating.
Yep.
Good advice. Awesome. All right. That's it.
All right.
All right, cool. Thank you guys for jumping on, and I'll be in touch about maybe doing a subgroup or seeing where you guys' heads are at now.
Are you starting
on
Monday?
What?
Are you starting Monday?
Yeah.
Is that your plan?
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Awesome.
I got to.
Right.
I
And
just
then-
have to mindset.
I was gonna say you're set. So
Yeah,
you're gonna
I
rock
need to
it.
lock into something right now. I'm kind of like not in anything. It's not working.
Have you done a little obsessed?
No, but I'm going to now.
I was gonna say
I've been
you
doing 21 day fit.
definitely do a little obsessed because it's really
Oh, and I
really
just got my
ties-
stuff today.
huh?
I just got my stuff. So
Yeah.
now I feel like, all right, I'm ready.
Rock it.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys.
All right.
All
See ya.
right. Bye.